Speleology Sundays, Salamanders of Air. Starring Sally, Pat, and me, Nicole.
Now this is a story all about how my life went from water to cave there now. I'd like to take a minute, just sit right there. I'll tell you how a salamander came to breathe air. Bluff Dwellers Cave, born and raised in the limestone pool, I spent most of my days chilling with gills and enjoying the pool. The water in the cave was nice and cool when a couple of guys were looking for food, eating and putting inside the neighborhood. So my friend concerned told me, go out there, it's time for you to grow up and start breathing air. Been breathing air a while. Plethodons hatch from eggs with a smile. Already breathing air from the minute they hatch. I can't breathe air until an adult's a match. A brook salamander like me is more skills, but salamanders don't have to follow the rules. See, not all salamanders have an aquatic stage. There are exceptions to every rule on every page. Most will tell you sallies are born in the water, but this is too simple for a complicated matter. Yeah, I've been breathing air since the day I hatched. Yeah, but I had to breathe water first. Now that I'm an adult, I can breathe air. I do what I want.
Oh yeah, Sally killed it. Yeah. Bluff Dwellers Cave actually has several species of salamanders. And while most of them lay eggs in water and they are hatched as aquatic larvae, not all of them do. One of the species here actually lays eggs out in the open air. So I wanted to talk about salamanders for this week's episode. Most of the salamanders in Bluff Dwellers are Eurecia species of salamanders, several different kinds. These adults will lay their eggs in the water, and when the eggs hatch, they are called salamander larvae. And they have gills, and they have to breathe in the water until they're an adult. So they start out as this egg with this clear jelly-like membrane. When they hatch, they almost look like grains of rice. They're tiny little white things. And over several weeks, they start developing pigment. They get darker in color, and then they look like these little tiny typical larvae that we see in caves all the time. In Bluff Dwellers, at any one time, you might see hundreds of salamander larvae. They love living in these rimstone pools. And they do look black, but that's just because they're so small. If you look really close, you'll actually see a pattern. The dark-sided salamander, Eurecia longicauda melanopleura, the cave salamander, Eurecia lucifuga, and the grotto salamander, Eurecia speleia, are all species that grow up in this manner. They lay eggs in water, they hatch with gills, so they have to breathe water. So kind of like frogs and tadpoles. And then as an adult, they can leave the water and breathe air. It is fun to watch the process in real life, and in Bluff Dwellers, we can watch it day to day. Western slimy salamanders are plethodons, so they lay their eggs in the air. So the mother will actually stay with the eggs until they hatch, and when they do hatch, they're able to breathe air and basically go about just like their adult counterparts. Isn't this video amazing? It was actually taken here in a southwestern Missouri cave by Brandon Van Dalsum. I bet you didn't know some amphibians have maternal instincts and actually care for their eggs, staying with them until they hatch. Check out these little salamanders. These western slimies are tiny. This is that keychain in that photo. So yes, they're that small. And they're already breathing air. Plethodon salamanders, also called woodland or slimy salamanders, lay eggs on land. They do not have an aquatic stage, and once they hatch, they're a lot like an adult. Nature is amazing and so diverse, and that's why it's hard to tell a general answer when a question is asked. It's why elementary and high school level biology won't tell you the nuances, and why during a cave tour we have to simplify it. But isn't it amazing? Some salamanders, which are amphibians, don't go through the aquatic stage. Thank you for learning with us today. Come visit Bluff Dwellers Cave.